and loved ones of those hostages who don't know if that second phase will ever take place, they are deeply concerned because while the first
I love how
hostages might
you're
come
talking
back
for them.
beginning Sunday, Hamas could violate this deal any day
Why don't we let
along
the
the
families
way,
talk?
and then
They can't
who
even mention their
knows when the
names.
next opportunity will present itself that
Nobody
we'll
even
be able to
mentions
get to film.
that. How about the fact that they raped somebody to
Thank
death?
you for
A
your
doctor.
analysis on this today. We appreciate your time.
Or like we didn't hear how they
Katz is the former
raped
editor-in-chief
somebody and
of
shoved
the
a phone up their
Jerusalem
butt.
Post.
And then
And we
that
want to
person ended
stay
up
on
dying
this
in
story,
the
and for
end
that,
after
we're
being
now going to bring
paralyzed.
in Gershon Baskin. He is a former peace negotiator and was involved with hostage negotiations with Hamas in the Gilad Shalit prisoner exchange in 2011. Gershon, thank you for joining us today.
This is how it was being said in Canada.
Okay, so we were discussing there that the cabinet vote has been delayed in terms of ratifying the ceasefire deal. How optimistic are you that the deal will eventually go through?
I think it will go through. I think both sides have an interest in implementing the deal. It should be said that it's not a good deal, it's a bad deal. And I beg to differ with my friend Yaakov Katz on his analysis of what happened here. Hamas was actually willing to end the war months ago in exchange for all the Israeli hostages and Palestinian prisoners, and for that to be done in a very short period of time of 3 weeks. It was the Israeli side that was opposed to ending the war. Prime Minister Netanyahu in particular was against ending the war. And the only reason that we ended up getting into this deal now, which has been on the table since May, is because a few days from now, Donald Trump is going to be sworn in as president of the United States. And Prime Minister Netanyahu was told by Trump to get it done before he gets into the Oval Office. That's what we've seen over the last days.
Because they're IDU. These they are literally IDU. They're in a coalition, an international coalition. Go look it up. It's www.idu.org. Look up all the member parties. There's many. Likud is one, GOP, and the Conservatives from Canada and the Conservatives from England, or the Tories, whatever you want to call them.
About the specifics here.
But there's other organizations too.
33 hostages expected to be released from Gaza in the first phase of this deal, and there will be 3 phases, and that's in exchange for hundreds of Palestinians, and that's expected to be released from Israeli prisons as the ceasefire deal
they're going to release a bunch of
which is anticipated to be
kidnapped people from Gaza that have been kidnapped since October 8th, or since October 8th, and that's present.
There's no fair deal here. Hamas attacked Israel on October 7th last year, massacred 1,200 people.
The year before
Israel
that.
has killed about 50,000 people in Gaza.
More than
We can't talk
50,000.
about fair in anything in this conflict right now. Right now, there are 2 sides that have lost a tremendous amount, and no one is victorious here. No one is
2 sides that have lost a tremendous
What we have is a
amount.
deal that has to be done because
I guess,
the war in
yes,
Gaza
it is a
has to
tremendous
come to an
amount to lose
end.
anyone.
The hostages have to come home, and the price for that is going to be releasing Palestinian prisoners.
How many Americans are losing their lives because they can't afford health care? Or how many Americans have lost their homes because they don't have water in California because, hey, some Zionists that are privatized all the water in California has left them dry. But they gotta have the pistachios, those wonderful pistachios. F off.
The safety of transferring the hostages is the easy part here. It's logistics. It will be done by the International Red Cross. They're reopening up the Rafah crossing between Gaza, Israel, and Egypt. That will be the focal point for these transfers. It'll also be the place where Palestinian prisoners are released to. The number of Palestinian prisoners is going to be coordinated with the release of the Israeli hostages. And there is a key that women hostages, children hostages, age hostages, bodies of hostages also get different numbers of Palestinian prisoners released. This will be very delicate. We don't know how many of the 33 hostages that will be released in the next 42 days are alive. We will only discover that as they are being released. We don't know the fate of the other 65 hostages who are remaining in Gaza, and that's a tragedy. And it's very likely that there are hostages who will never be recovered because they might be buried underneath the rubble of buildings that Israel bombed over the last 15 months.
Right.
There are thousands of Palestinians from Gaza who are designated as missing because they too are buried underneath the rubble of buildings that collapsed on top of them. So this is a very difficult story. Again, it's very sad that it's going to be spread out over 3 months instead of 3 weeks. And that's one of the things that can lead to the failing of the deal. We saw last night.
There you go. See, this guy's a former hostage negotiator. He would know how to make a deal about hostage negotiations. Obviously, Netanyahu is just corrupt. And so is the IDU. So is the international community that has, like, you know, governments, like people that have.
It's going to take so long to do.
They just kept on saying, oh, they've got the right to defend themselves. They got the right to defend themselves. No, they don't. Look at the international law. They don't have that right. They don't have the right to go to war with Gaza or anywhere because they are an occupying force. That's it. That's it, and that's all. There's all that. That's it. So I don't understand why that's so hard for people to understand, but, like, go look up the international law. Because we're going to lose it if we don't follow it. And that means human rights out the drain. I don't even know if we actually have human rights anymore, actually, or ever. I don't even know if we've had it ever. Because, like, it doesn't feel like it anymore. There's lots of people that are homeless on the streets here. And the government of Ontario, at least, totally froze the assistance, so lots of people have gotten made. It's awful what's going on in this world. But these conservatives are all working together, and they just happen to be working with, what's his name, Viktor Orban. That's right, that motherfucker. That guy's no good either. Like, this is just no good. The worst parties. And, like, in the website, you could be a partial fucking member of IU and not have your name show up anymore, or show up on the list of member parties. India used to be on there, but now it just quietly disappeared. But yet they still are, like, interference, like, investigation here in Canada, and the killing of the Sikhs here in Canada. Yeah, so there's a lot of things that could be IDU. Stephen Harper also is the former friggin' Prime Minister of Canada, is the chairman of the IDU. And he also makes money off of genocide with his Oz Ventures, that's right. Like, funds entrepreneurs from Israel only. With former heads of secret intelligence services like CIA. CSIS. Oh, it's here in Canada. And then MI5 or 6, I can't remember which one. And then, what is it? 2 Mossad guys and 1 more. CIA, that's right. Those former heads. So, what's up with that? Oh, and Stephen Harper made a Canadian go and build those apartheid roads for Israel. So, we're awesome here in Canada. I don't know. A good day.